Just a basic setup. Kind of the thing you want to have is, since we're playing a 3v3, you want to have one will for each champion that's on the field on your side to your will zone. That's your starting will. Next, you want to make sure your deck has from 40 to 60 cards, and your inventory zone can hold to 15 inventory for a 3v3. This is a standard setup for a 3v3. Some things that could possibly help: the meeple to kind of tell who's going next. Turn order goes from left to right, and after your champion on the right's gone, it goes back to here. After that, you're ready to kind of play. So, since I'm going first, I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 cards. Each turn, you're going to try your best to drop to 5 cards. So, at the end of your turn, if you only have 1 card in your hand, and then your next turn comes up, then you would go ahead and draw 4 cards to make it equal to 5. If you have more than 5 in the beginning of your turn, then you get to draw only 1 card. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 5. And we're showing cards, right? Okay. So, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and show the cards that I just drew. Not the greatest hand, but we'll make work with it. We'll make it work. So, my first champion going up is Escaris, the Dread Knight. Alright. So, going into my prep phase, I'm going to go ahead and equip. During the first round, which is the first turn for all 3 of your champions, it's a good idea to kind of equip, because you can't attack during this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and equip him with a Battle Longsword. And because Escaris is a Berserker champion, I'm going to go ahead and equip him with 2. Which I'm going to equip him with the Battle Longsword and the Battle Sword. Now, I'm going to make the Battle Longsword my primary, and because of that, I get to get the effect of the first one, but I don't get to get the effect of the secondary until I have a special card. But I get the stats of both of these cards added to him. Next, I'm going to go ahead and play my 3 will that you see here. This allows me to get will into my will zone that I can use for later cards. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and put this card face down, and I'm going to end my turn there. With the end of my turn, I get to go ahead and put any will that I put here in this zone, and this card stays on the field. This is the card that's in my hand. So then that'll be your turn next.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 cards as well. I'm going to show my hand. I am using the basic starter deck, and I did not shuffle well. So as you can see, I drew 2 flame spells, wind spell, nature, and this defense skill. I'm going to equip Escaris with the Battle Longsword. I'm going to throw all these cards face down on the field just to get them out of my hand so I can draw 5 new cards next turn and hopefully get some will. And from there, I will end my turn.
So, this goes over to my next champion. Now, before I go ahead and draw cards, I'm going to see if I have any active cards. Don't have any. Any of the will that's in my use will zone goes back here. And I get to choose if I want to keep this card on the field or not. With normal cards, you would be able to, but this is an ally card, so I'm going to have to give that up. After I made all those moves, then I can start drawing my cards. I have 1 card here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to go ahead and make the 5 that I need to start my turn. Now, I drew more will, which is going to come in handy when we actually start playing active cards, but as always, since it's the first round, my strategy I love to do is always equip. So I'm going to go ahead and equip Payton, the Wildfire Huntress, with a Battle Axe. Now, I'm going to put this card underneath her, just so things just look clean, but she is equipped with that, and I have told my opponent that I am equipping her with this. Next, I'm going to go ahead and play 1, 2, 3, and 4 will. And then from that, I'm going to end my turn.
Alright. So it's my turn again. If I had any will in the use will zone, it would go back to the will zone. But I don't have any will in my use will zone currently. I get to pick if I want to keep any cards on the field. I'm not going to keep this, so it's going to go to cooldown. This one has a 3 CC, so it's a 3 on the cooldown counter. So it's going to go to cooldown zone 3. I am going to not keep this one either. This one has a 1, it goes to zone 1. This one has a 2, it goes to zone 2. This one has a 1 as well, it's going to go to zone 1. This one I am going to keep, so I'm going to add 1 will to charge it. If you charge a stored card, which is your card that's face down, then it doesn't leave the field. You can keep it on the field. So now I'll start my turn by drawing 5 cards. Again, typically you don't want to show your hand, but I'm just doing this to show off the game. Again, I didn't draw any will. I did not shuffle well, which is fine. We're gonna go with it. We're going to throw this one face down. We're gonna throw these 2 face down as well. We are going to actually activate the spark card. So charge cards are going to go, or the will that's used to charge cards are going to go to your use will zone, and then you actually have to pay the will cost as well. So this one Spark has 1 will cost, so I'm going to move 1 will from my will zone to my use will zone to activate Spark's effect. With Spark, I can get 1 level 2 or lower flame spell from my deck and add it to my hand. So I'm just going to grab a fireball, and I'm going to hopefully get some better will draws. Alright. And then I will end my turn there. And this is 1 CC, so it's going to go to cooldown counter 1. Or cooldown zone 1. And then it is your turn.
Well, I have no will in my use will zone to put back. I have no active art by drawing my cards to make 5. I still have 1 card in my hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw 4. 1, 2. I'm kind of worried about my 3, 4.
You know the will.
So we got more will, and we got 2 strategy cards, which are gonna come in handy. So first thing I'm gonna do is, as usual, go ahead and look at my inventory, see what I want to do. Now, because I went first, and this is my last champion, I still can't attack or use any use my action phase. So with this, I'm gonna go ahead and equip Abigail with Asantewa. And then I'm going to go ahead and play those 2 will. I'm going to go ahead and use first defense. This allows me to add 1 defensive skill from my deck to my hand and shuffle my deck. I'm going to go ahead and bring out block. Now, I know that...
Ready for that attack.
Yeah. I know that we're showing cards right now for demonstration purposes, but in a normal game scenario, you would actually show your opponent that you did pick out a defensive skill, which I would show, hey, I did pull out a block to meet the requirements of this card. From there, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my deck. Put that deck back and continue my turn. From there, I'm going to go ahead and put this card face down, and then I will end my turn. So, strategy card, those are 1 turn use. And then these 2 will cards I'm going to put in my will zone. That is your move.
Perfect. Alright, so I actually do have will in my use will zone this time. So this will is going to go to my will zone, so it's going to get refreshed. Next, I get to pick if I want to keep any cards on the field by charging them. And I will not keep any of my cards. This one's a 1 turn use, so it's going to go to my use card zone. This one is also 1 turn use, and this one has a cooldown counter of 1. Next, because I have 3 cards in my hand, I will draw 2 more cards. Hey, I got some will. So, first I'm going to... Let's go ahead and play this will. Next, I'm going to equip Hayden with the Battle Axe. I will throw this defense skill down because at the end of this round, my opponent can start attacking. So I want to get ready for that attack. I will also throw this fireball down as well, just to get it out of my hand. So you can see I have 2 power slashes. I'm trying to save up for that union. So I need to get as many cards out of my hand as possible so I can draw. From there, I will end my turn. I will move my will to the will zone.
Alright. Now here's where things get a little bit different from what we just did. I'm back to S3CCG again, who is my first champion. I would actually pick up all my used will and put them to my will zone. And before I do anything in my activity zone, I'm going to shift every card that's in my cooldown down over 1. So say if I have something in 4, it would move over to 3. 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and 1 to my actual library where I can reuse that skill. After I do that, then I get to focus on my cards that's in my activity zone. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put 1 card down to charge this because I do want to leave this on the field. After that's done, I get to go ahead and start my turn. Now, I did have 2 cards in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards. Pretty good cards. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is, now that I can actually attack and do things, I can actually have an action phase this turn if I wanted to. I'm going to start off by playing the card Knighting. This allows my Knight class to select any other Knight champion, and they are able to carry 2 weapons. Now, I'm going to most likely, I'm going to put this and equip this to Escaris, so now he gets the effective Battle Sword. With the effective Battle Sword, I get to add 1 skill card with a slash in its name from my deck to my hand. So, these are the cards that are currently in my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and add 1 with slash. I'm going to go ahead and choose Power Slash. As anytime when you look at your deck, you're going to go ahead and shuffle your cards. Next, I'm going to put this card face down. And I'm going to go ahead and activate Prickly Thrashing. I'm going to actually use it against Payton.
Okay.
So with Prickly Thrashing, normally I could select one B rank weapon, the ranks on the right side here, of one of my opposing champions and break it. However, if Payton's one of my active party members, I can actually select an A rank weapon instead. Afterwards, you may add one charge to a stored card in your activity zone. Since I don't really want to activate or add a card to my stored cards, I'm going to go ahead and just not use that second effect. But I did break my opponent's weapon, so. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use, or put this card face down. And from there, I will end my turn. Now, with the activity zone, I'm going to go ahead and move this because this is an ally card with a one-turn use. But this is a lingering card. Since the effect is going to continue to go on until some other card negates this effect, I'm going to put this in the lingering zone, where Ascaris still gets the effect of both of these weapons. And after that, that's back over to you.
Awesome. So it is my lead champion's turn. Lead champion is the champion on the furthest left side. So that's Ascaris. So first I would get my will back. Then everything in my cooldown zone is going to move over to the right by 1. So this is going to go into my library zone. 2 to 1, 3 to 2. From there, I get to select if I want to keep anything again. So I'm going to charge this one card here. And I'm not going to charge this one. So this one has 3CC. It's going to go to zone 3. I have 2 cards in my hand, so I will draw 3 cards. I will throw 1 card down. I will use 1 will. I'll throw this card down as well. And as you can see, I'm still saving up my power slashes, so I will end my turn there.
So going through my turn, Payton is up. I have no cards to move from my use will zone, and I'm gonna go ahead and charge this card and this card, but I will not charge this one. So I do not get that will back. That goes to my use will zone. Now I have 2 cards in my hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw 1, 2, and 3. Pretty decent cards to have right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and look in my hand and see how much will I have, or my will zone, see how much will I have. Alright, so I am going to activate the card Mountain Strength. This card costs 5 will, so I'm going to pay that cost right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and select Abigail as my target. What this card does is I select one party member. That selected party member gains 65 attack until the end of that member's turn. It has a second effect where if the caster's original INT is greater than 20, they gain an extra 5 attack. However, Payton's original is only 17, so they don't get the second effect. So when Abigail's turn comes up, then they will, they have 65 in attack until the end of that champion's turn. So until the end of Abigail's turn, she has an extra 65 attack with her. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and use the card Shake Your Steak and Bake, which this card can select one opposing champion and heal them for 20 HP to activate this card. Afterwards, select one stored card on the heal champion's arena, reveal it, and if it's a defensive skill, immediately send it to the cooldown zone. If not, return it to its store position. And so we did pick a block, so that goes immediately to the cooldown zone. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and play a will, and I will end my turn there. This goes to the 3CC spot, which is here. This, being a strategy card, has a 1-turn use, and this one goes to my will zone. Your move.
So I got my will back. This one's 3CC. I'm not charging any of these. This one's 3CC as well. I'm going to draw. Finally getting some will action going. I'm going to play these 2 will. I'm going to activate some cards from my library zone. So with the library, you can activate these cards during your turn as if they were in your hand. I'm going to play Spark. Spark has a will cost of 1, so I'm going to move 1 will from my will zone to my use will zone. Because I'm playing Spark from my library, I'm going to get Spark's second effect to move 1 flame spell, reduce the cooldown of 1 flame spell by 1. So I'm going to use it on Fireball, move it to 2. I'm going to activate my second Spark card. Since they're both Spark cards, I can combo them regardless of the rank. This one's rank 8, this one's rank 7, but since they're both Sparks, I can play them both. That's 1 will cost again. I'm going to select Fireball again, move it down by 1. I'm going to take 1 card and throw it face down on the field, and from there I will end my turn.
Alright, so up to Abigail now. I'm going to go ahead and get all my used will cards, put them back to my will zone. I am not going to charge this card. So this goes to my used will zone. This goes to the cooldown. But I will charge this card. I have 2 cards in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 3. Decent start, decent start. So, the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and activate this down card. So, I put my will that was stored on here to here. And I'm going to go ahead and pay the will cost for this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that activates the card. And so I'm going to use Mirage Attack, and I'm going to strike down your Payton. Are you going to counter? Not?
I am not.
Okay. And so with this one, I am going to do a plus 40 attack. But remember, I did already increase Abigail's attack previously with Mountain Strength. So that gets an extra 65 attack added to what's already on her stats. So altogether, that's going to be a 105 attack increase on top of what Abigail has. So that's going to be 137 attack towards Payton.
Alright, and for damage calculation, you're going to take that attack, you're going to subtract Hayden's defense from it, which is 13. So it's 137 minus 13. So she's getting dealt 124 damage, leaving her HP at 57.
Okay. I'm going to combo Mirage Attack with another Mirage Attack. The reason I could do that is because the names, they match. They're both Mirage Attacks. And because of that, the card states if the card's comboed after Mirage Attack, I reduce the will cost to 2. So my next Mirage Attack only costs 2 will. I'm going to use that to hit Payton one more time.
Great. So now Payton is at 0 HP, so she is downed.
For my last move, I'm going to go ahead and use Mirage Attack one more time. And since it is comboing to another Mirage Attack, that also is going to be 2 will costs. And I'm going to use this to attack. Let's go Ascaris. And that's 137.
Alright. So we're going to take 137, subtract Ascaris' defense, which is 12. So he's taken 125 damage, leaving him at 85 HP.
To end my turn, I'm going to play one will card and put this card face down. And I will end my turn there. Go ahead and put those there. And these go ahead and go to their respective cooldown zone, which is 3.
So now it would be my Payton's turn, but since Payton is down, Payton gets skipped. So now it is your turn again.
And so I play my turn as normal. It goes to Ascaris, who's my next champion, and because of that, I do the same routine that I would have for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my use will, back to my will zone. I'm going to go ahead and charge this card, I'm going to put my will to my use will zone to my will zone. I'm going to go ahead and move my cards down 1, because Ascaris is my furthest left champion. And then I'm going to go ahead and charge this card. Now, I have 1 card here, so that means I get to go ahead and draw 4 cards. 2, 3, and 4. Making a total of 5. Now, for this turn, I'm going to go ahead and union a card. The way this works is, in my inventory zone, I have what's called Ultra Power Slash. The requirements for this one is a union straight, which is I have to have a straight set of cards, of 3 Power Slashes. And they have to be in my hand. They can't be in a library or in the activity zone. These were 3 Power Slashes that were in my hand. So, from that, I have here a king. Let's move it this way for a better example. I have here a queen, a king, and a joker, which can be any card I want it to be. In this case, it could be a jack or an ace to make this straight. So I'm going to go ahead and put these cards in my use card zone and go ahead and pick this up as a card I can use. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play these 2 will. I'm going to go ahead and put this card. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this card face down. And I'm going to go ahead and activate this down card right here, which is Mountain Strength. I'm going to use that on Ascaris himself, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to activate this card.
I'm going to use Alep's effect to negate it. So I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will to use her mastery and negate that spell.
Unfortunately, because he used his champion's effect, it does negate Mountain Strength. However, this immediately comes from this zone and goes right to cooldown immediately. Unfortunately, I still have to pay that will cost to activate that card. But I am going to use Ultra Power Slash, and I'm going to use that on a Lith. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to pay that off. Are you going to counter that card?
Nope.
Alright. So that's going to be an extra 85 attack to what's already on an Esgar. This is 32. So 85, 32. That's going to be 112 attack towards Aelith.
Alright, so 112 attack minus Aelith's 8 defense. She's taken 104 damage, leaving her at 44 HP.
Alright, and from that, I'm going to put this card face down and end my turn there. Now with that, these goes to my will zone, and this goes to a cooldown. Your move.
Alright, so I'll get my will back. It's my lead champion's turn, so everything moves down to the right by 1. I get to decide whether or not I want to keep it, and I will go ahead and charge that card. I have 2 cards, so I'm going to draw 3. As you can see, he's already beat me to the Ultra Power Slash, so I'm going to give up on that. I'm going to play these 2 will. That's not to say that I can't get Ultra Power Slash as well, but oh wow. I'm going to play Power Slash. That's going to be 3 will cost because of the weapon equipped to Ascaris. I will attack your Abigail. That's going to be 65 from Power Slash, 19 from Ascaris, and 10 from the weapon. That's 94 attack.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and use block to defend. What block does is it adds a 45 defense until the end of damage calculation when targeted by an offensive striking or range skill. So Abigail is going to add 45 defense to her current defense and use that to lessen the blow of Power Slash. You said Power Slash was how much?
94.
So Abigail has a defense of 59 with block. And so he's actually going to hit through block for me, or through my defense. And Abigail is going to go ahead and take 35 damage. This brings Abigail down to 121. Now, before you continue your turn, I will leave this up because this is how combos work. But at the end of my turn, this shield or block is considered broken, and this will go to my use card zone at the end of this turn. Go ahead and continue your turn now.
Perfect. I am going to combo another Power Slash, and I'm comboing by name, both Power Slashes. It's going to cost me 3 will. And we're going to attack Abigail again with 94 attack.
And I'm going to go ahead and combo another block on top of that with another 2 will. I'm comboing it because they're the same name, not rank. And then you're going to do another 35 damage to me, bringing me down to 86 health for Abigail.
Alright. And from there, I will end my turn.
Now, since it's the end of the turn, both of these blocks I did take damage from, after he swung over them. So I'm going to go ahead and put them as they are broken. Now, beginning my turn, it does go over to Peyton. I'm going to go ahead and put all my will back to my will zone. And I have no cards in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I have a decent set of cards. So I already drew all of my cards that I need out of my hand or my deck that has level 1. So because I don't want to just have a card sitting in my hand stopping me from drawing, I'm going to go ahead and put this card face down. Now, since it's still part of the prep phase, I'm going to go ahead and use Peyton effect of using a potion. And I'm going to use this potion, Nutrient Banquet Low, which I select the party member and heal for 50. I'm going to go ahead and select Abigail to heal. Now, if I was a normal champion, or had a normal champion, this would stop me from using my action phase because I use the inventory card. However, with Peyton's Mastery, once per match, if I use a potion type card, which this is, with this champion, I do not have to skip my action phase. So I'm going to continue to have my action phase for this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and put this card face down. I'm going to go ahead and play a will. And from that, I'm going to go ahead and use Mirage Attack, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. To activate the card. Question for you. How much health does Escaris have?
Escaris has 85 HP.
And how much health does Aleph have?
Aleph has 44 HP.
Let's go ahead and target Aleph with a Mirage Attack. And so, are you going to activate a card to counter?
Nope.
So from this, he is going to take 40 from Mirage Attack, and then Peyton has 16 attack, so that's going to be a total combined attack of 56.
Alright, so that's 56 minus Aleph's 8 defense. It's going to hit for 48, and she is downed.
After that, I'm actually going to go ahead and end my turn there.
Alright, so since Escaris is my last acting champion, anytime you're down to one champion, you're going to go into what's called last stand. So your champion's going to be able to act after each one of your opponent's champions. So it breaks the turn structure while you only have one champion left. So I will get my will back. This last stand champion is your party leader by virtue of them being the last champion left. So you're going to move everything over by 1, all your cards that are on cooldown. I am not going to charge this card. So this is going to drop. So that's a CC of 1. I have 1 card left, or 1 card in my hand, so I'm going to draw 4. I'm going to play this will. I'm going to play... Let's look at my library. I'm going to use Mountain Strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Funny enough, I did not save enough will to attack after using Mountain Strength. So that's definitely something you want to be mindful of, is, making sure you have enough will to do all of your actions before you take any actions. Next, I will move one card from my library to my activity zone. I will move one card from my hand, and I will end my turn there.
So next, that goes to my Abigail's turn next. I'm going to go ahead and move my use will to my will zone. I'm not going to go ahead and charge this card. And I'm not going to charge this card. I have one card in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from that, I'm going to go ahead I could do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and use Reforge of Defense. Reforge of Defense allows me to add 1 defensive skill from my use card zone to my hand. So this is my use card zone, and I'm going to go ahead and bring back a block to my hand. I'm going to go ahead and put said block down. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate Sword Master's Might. This is another ally skill card, or ally card. This attacks one opposing unit with 30 attack, but if Abigail is a party member, the attack gains a plus 30 attack. Reduce the cooldown of all striking skills on active cooldown, that's from 4 to 1, on your side of field by 1. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit Ascaris with a 60 attack.
Alright. So we're going to take that 60. His defense is 12, so he takes 48 damage, leaving him at 37.
So this moves all my striking skills down by 1. So I'm moving Mirage Attack, Ultra Power Slash, and my Mirage Attack here. But as you can tell, Roll Mountain Strength is not a striking skill. From that, I'm going to go ahead and use Ultra Power Slash, which costs 6 will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the reason I could do this combo is because Ultra Power Slash is a Joker, and Joker is a wild card which can match with a Queen as a combo. And I'm going to use that to do an attack to Ascaris, which is 85 plus her 32. That's 117 to you.
Alright. That is more HP than Ascaris has, so he is downed as well. Since all 3 champions are downed, you, sir, are the victor.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and swing by the website to pick up some starter decks. Now that you know how to play the game, feel free to comment below and we will answer any questions you have.